over the next 5 to 7 days, you're going to watch, mainly time lapse, as I turn these 2 pallets of wood into an 8x16 shed. Let's get started. Alright, so what I did is I started in one corner right here. I measured the distance from the fence. And I went on down, measured distance from the fence, measured distance from the fence, measured distance from the fence. Once I had that even, then I found the even spacing between all these blocks. And that was 43.5 inches. So I made them all on the back side 43.5 inches apart. Then I came 8 feet out from the corner here to here, marked it there, and then found the center. That block's 4 foot on center because it's 8x16 shed, so 4 foot on center will be the center. Then I just worked my way backwards and got equal spacing, 4 foot on center this way, 43.5 inches this way, and it got to my 8x16. Now the next step is putting a level on these and seeing how we look. As expected, there's going to be some shimming required, but overall it's fairly level. Looks like the front left corner, which will be right here, is the low point. Everything else is pretty level. I'm going to measure corner to corner and make sure that we're square before we get going on any further. Now that we've got everything mostly square, we're going to go ahead and get our 16-foot 4x4, lay them across the blocks, and double check before we start nailing anything together. Apologize, I made a little progress. Didn't realize my phone had died, so here I am. Not sure exactly the last thing you've seen, but I went around and made sure everything was leveled, shimmed up using some asphalt shingles. Up front here, had to put some shingles. Back here, had to put some shingles. Had to put a couple pieces of shingles here. Now I've started cutting the boards. My pass load nailer is broken. It's got a new fuel charge cartridge, but there's something wrong with the gun. So I didn't have any regular nails. I only had the pass load nails. So I just went through and broke apart a bunch of those nails, and I'm gonna start laying in the flooring. So that's where we're at. All right, everybody, day 2 of the shed build. Yesterday we got about 2.5 hours of building in, and today we're gonna get after it. So we're gonna continue to lay the decking, and we're gonna see if we can get a couple walls thrown up. Let's get it. All right, everybody, day 3. I've already got about 5 hours or so in this build, maybe 5.5 hours. These next 2 walls are going to be a little more intricate. This wall here is our south wall. It's going to have a window, so we're going to have to plan out quarterly on that. And this big 16-footer wall here is going to have a doorway here to here. It's going to have a window over here. So we're going to go ahead and get the framing. Got a little drawing here, my specs on my windows, and we're going to go ahead and get after it and get to framing. And here we go, time lapse again. All right, so what I did there, the window's a 24 by 30, so I left a 24-inch gap in the center. The other boards are 16 inches on center. That'll leave me enough room, and the window's going to be perfectly centered between the wall. So this is going to work out perfectly. That's all I did. Putting 2 nails in the ends of each of the studs. Now it's time to stand the wall up. So what I did on that back corner, after I got that wall constructed, this wall was level, this wall was tilted a little bit. I had to get this other wall to help support. So once I got it connected back here, then I had to push the wall over about 1/4 of an inch. And in order to keep that stationary, I cut about a 30-degree angle on that board, fastened it up to this south wall first, pushed the board and the wall over until it was level, and I fastened that. So now all 3 of these walls are perfectly level. After I get the front wall in and I start tying everything together with plywood and then putting the rafters on, everything will be tied together really strong and secure, and then at that time I can take that board off. So we're heading the right direction. Let's keep going. Next thing I want to do is I want to go mock up this window and decide the height. Standard windows are anywhere from 40 to 48 inches off the ground. Just going to put it up there and kind of see what I like for my personal preference. Alright, let's go take a look at the window. I'm going to go ahead and measure 40 inches off the floor on both sides, as well as 48 inches. Put the tape up, bring the window up, kind of imagine myself standing in the shed, kind of seeing, there's 40, about hip height, there's 48, about belly button. I think I like I'm going to have a little more storage capability. It's a little lower. I think I'm going to go with the 48 inches. So that's what's going to work for me. Everybody's different. But we're going to go ahead and frame this up at 48 inches above the ground. Next step, we need to cut some 2x4s for bracing. Use a small level to make sure everything's leveled up. And then I'm not going to install the window yet, but we'll mock it up and then we'll install a top brace. Let's get it. All right, we got that bottom 2x4 installed. Now we're going to come around. We're going to mock the window up. It's a nice fit. Grab my level. Confirm level at the top of the window. We're good. We're going to make a mark. Both sides of the window. Go ahead and confirm the measurement. 29 5/8. Measure that from the plate. It is 29 5/8. 29 5/8. I like to use a screw on each side when you're doing this, and then throw a nail in there as well. 29 5/8 is our measurement that we're looking for. All right, we got the top done and the bottom done. We're gonna take this window, see how it sits in there. Perfect. It's a little snug, but it is a perfect fit.
It's exactly what we're looking for.
I'm gonna go ahead and pull it out.
Carefully.
There. Very, very nice fit. We won't actually install the windows until after we have it, the OSB around it. We just want to get that framed out. Now we're going to go ahead and continue on to the front. So now that we've determined our window height for the south wall, that'll be one less thing we have to figure out on the east wall. We already know we're going to be 48 inches. Next thing I want to do is I'm going to go through on that front sill, on the front floor. I'm going to go ahead and mark off what we're going to do. So right here, 16-foot wall. I'm going to split that at 8 foot, and then I'm going to center this window between that area here. You'll see right here I have it. So a 2-foot wide window, 3 foot on either side. That's 8. We're going to split it 8 foot there. So we're going to have 1.5 foot on this side, 1.5 foot on this side, with a 5-foot door. So we're going to go ahead and get all those measurements laid out onto the floor, and then we're going to start constructing this this wall here. We'll do the doors later. I'm going to do a double jamb all the way around the door, so there's plenty of meat to hook into the hinges later on. But that's going to be the next step, doing the east wall with the door opening and a window opening. I'm probably going to do it like 2 separate walls at that seam right there, and do a double jamb and connect the walls together. But we'll see what we got going on. Let's get it. So I've got my drawing here, and we're going to have a 5-foot door, and we're going to have a window down there. So my door is going to start 18 inches in. So I'm going to frame up to the 18 inches. I'll put a mark there. And then I'm going to have a 5-foot door. So we're going to come 5 foot over. All right, so there's that. And then we've got another 18 inches, or basically a total of total of 8 feet. Put a mark there. All right. So there's that. And then on the other side, we're going to come in. We're going to come in 3 foot. We're actually going to do similar to what we did over there. We're going to come in 3 foot. We're going to put a mark. Okay, and then the window is going to be 24-inch opening. That comes with a 5-foot mark. And then the wall, of course, is going to butt up. It's going to be 8 foot. It's going to go to here. We can go ahead and start on the section that is going to contain the window with the 8-foot pieces. So we're going to go ahead and get 2 8-footers, 2 8-foot 2x4s, and then we're going to get some stud pieces. Let's get after it. short little recap. First off, you'll notice that I went back through the decking. I had forgot to nail down one of the rows at the seam of plywood yesterday whenever I was doing the decking. So you see me go through and nail in at an angle some of the decking. We got some rain today, and it was starting to swell just a little bit, and I just wanted to make sure that everything was down secure. And like I said, I missed a row of nails, so I got that taken care of. Then I laid the wood down and got an 8-foot piece for the top and bottom, and then I got my stud links, got them all built up and then stood up. I've got 16-inch centers on the ends, and then the center is a 24-inch center, which is for the window. So now the next step is to mark it up 48 inches from the floor. And you also see that I doubled up on that edge because that's where the gate's going to be, so it's going to have a load on it. I shot some screw. I used a clamp. I used a clamp to sandwich those two 2x4s together, and then I put 3 screws in and a couple of nails. So that's going to be really good and strong. Next step, like I said, I got to do the window over here, and then I'm going to do my little section of wall right here. Then I have to measure the height to my door and build a header that's going to go across. So that's going to be the next step. All right, we've got all the walls built now. Now what we still have yet to do is this front wall here. We need to secure it to the ground. We need to secure this section of wall to the main section. We need to secure this section to the ground, this section to this wall, and then we're going to build a big header. I'm going to look at my plans and see how tall my doors are going to be, and then I'm going to make a header that goes across, and we're going to get that all secured up, ready to go. So let's get back at it. Well, this concludes day 3 on the shed build. All the walls are installed. I got them doubled up at the doorway. I've got the header up. All I have to do is put a 2x4 about 3 inches under that header, because the door is going to be a 5x7, and right now it's there's about 7'3" or 7'4" of head space there. So I just got to run a 2x4 across the top. Then I'm going to come in, I'm going to tie the corners with some braces up top. I'm just going to cut a few 2-foot sections of 2x4 and tie all the corners together. And then I'm going to start putting up siding, or not siding, but OSB underlayment. And then, so that'll be Wednesday. I'll do those things. And then I perhaps might get started on rafters. We'll just have to see. If not, I'll continue on the OSB walls, and then rafters will be on Thursday. So I mentioned earlier in the video, they messed up on my roofing material. They're supposed to bring me the correct color on Thursday evening. Hopefully that arrives in time. I'd like to get this shed wrapped up mostly Friday evening. It might go into Saturday. If the roofing's not here, I might not have the roofing done, but that's the plan so far. I've had 4 hours in it today, so we're up to a total of 9 hours on the project. Have a great night. All right, this is day 4 of the build. It's been raining for the last couple hours, but it's just quit. I'm gonna go out here and I've got to try to put some plywood around the building, and I'm not gonna do trusses today. I'm gonna wait till tomorrow so I have a good dry flat surface. So I'm gonna be having to crawl around the concrete or the floor of the building, and I don't want to get soaking wet, but I am gonna try to put a few sheets, maybe hang the back wall and the bottom strip all the way around the building. I also have to cut a piece of 2x4 for underneath that header. So that'll be the plan. Put it in time lapse and we'll get after it. All right, everybody, so as you can see, I've got the whole south wall done, and I have one piece on the west wall. I think it's probably about 7:30. I'm gonna go ahead and try to put one piece on the north wall, and I'm gonna call it a night. All right, quick walkthrough. Today I had a short time because we had rain. It was pouring rain up until about 6:30. So from 6:30, maybe 6 o'clock to 8:15, I was able to hang 1, 2, 3, 4 sheets. So takes a little bit of time, but that's what I was able to get done. So I still have 3 sheets to hang on that side, a 4th there, 2.5 here and a half. So it's gonna take me about 3.5 more hours to finish the wall sheathing, and then I can start on the rafters, the trusses. That's probably gonna take me 4 hours, so that'll be Thursday and Friday, and then I'll have to do the decking and the roof, and that's probably gonna be another 7 hours. So I only got a little over 2 hours in today, so we're 11 hours into the project, and this is how it's looking so far. Really happy about it. I did go today and buy some more 2x4s. I thought I was running a little low, and then I got some house wrap because as soon as I get that sheathing hung up, fully hung up, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it. So yeah, things are looking good. Let's take a look at the material pile. It is starting to dwindle down. So here we go. Still got quite a bit of plywood. Feel like we'll definitely have enough. I tried to order a couple extra sheets, so we should be good on that. Should be good on regular lumber. And right over here is a pallet with 4 pieces of roofing. They sent me the wrong color. Menards is gonna, the GM is gonna come and hand deliver it on Friday on the way to a meeting. So I'll have all the roofing material I need Friday evening, although I don't think I'll be ready for it until next week. I would like to get the decking done Saturday if possible, and at least put the roofing paper on it, and then I can just throw the shingles on it at a later time. But that's where we're at. I hope you've been enjoying this video. I know I'm gonna really enjoy that shed. It's gonna be pretty awesome. So thanks for tuning in. Thanks for subscribing, and really appreciate you guys' support. Have a great day. All right, everybody, it's Thursday, about 4:15 in the PM. Just got home from work. This will be day 5 of the shed build. I'm gonna try to get all the sheeting done today around the walls, and then try to get started on some rafters. So let's get after it. All right, all we have left now is 1 strip on the side, 1 piece on the top over here, and 3 pieces in the back. Now I'm going to show you, as you've seen, I've been doing this all by myself. I'm going to show you how I'm rigging up a piece of 2x4 in order to assist me in hanging the higher section of plywood. Let's go take a look and I'll show you how it's done. So here I'm going to show you how to hang a sheet of plywood by yourself. I've already hung the bottom row. What you're going to need is you're going to need a drill, a piece of 2x4, scrap piece of 2x4, about 3.5 to 4 inch screws, 2 of them. What we're going to do, they need to be longer than your stud spacing. You're going to bring your 2x4 and align it up so you've got about half the board overhanging the piece of plywood. You're going to screw that into the stud on both sides. Just like so. That's going to be my extra set of hands. You're also going to need a couple of squeeze clamps. I'm going to put one in my tool pocket here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to lift this sheet of plywood up and we're going to rest it in there. And then once we get the lip in here, I'm going to go ahead and move my ladder back a little bit. Give me a little more working room. Once we lift that up, we're going to use that lip as an extra set of hands to hold this sheet of plywood. So if you're tall enough, strong enough, you can just lift it straight up and over. But what we're going to do today, we're going to lean it on its side. We're going to get up underneath it. We're going to lift it up. Okay? You're rested in there. Now before you put it in the groove, you want to get it fairly close, within a ½ inch or so of your corners. And now you're just going to use 2 hands to stand it up. Now you can take one hand off and you can easily hold that to secure it. You can come to my edge here, see where we're at. I'll shove it a little too far from the back side. Use the hammer, give it a little tap, push it just a little bit. That looks super close. Grab my little level here, a little flat straight edge. You need to come over just a tad more, not much at all. Okay. Over here, see how you're looking. You're looking really good. Now what we're going to do is in one corner, we're going to go ahead and hit a nail in there. Okay? Drop that. We're going to put a nail in there. Alright, perfect. Now that's going to sit there for a minute. We're going to take our clamp. We're going to clamp it up here. Perfect. Next step, grab your ladder. We're going to climb the ladder. We're going to check our level and a plumb. We're level and we're plumb. Now all there is left to do is go ahead and get this secured. I'm using nails for the sheathing. I'm using a 6D 2-inch nail. For other parts of this construction, I've been using 16D or 12D and 10D nails. But for doing the sheathing, you can get by with a 2-inch nail. Flip your stud. What you want to do, I go up top of my ladder. Find your studs. Then I'm going to hang a chalk line. Snap the chalk line. Let it free fall down. Let it find its center. Push it into the wall. Pop that chalk line. Now you know where your stud is behind your wall. And I'm putting the nail every 10 to 12 inches just so that it's built really solid. And that's all there is. That's how you will hang plywood by yourself when you don't have anybody to help you. It's as easy as that. I hope this tip helps you out. Have a great day. All right, everybody. All I gotta do is the back part, but there's no good way to film it. So I'm gonna go ahead and knock that out. And then after that, we're gonna have to start on the rafters. We also have to cut out the holes for the windows out of the sheathing, and I've got house wrap. So we'll just decide how much time we got, and we'll proceed from there and figure out what we're gonna do next. All right, everybody, it's Saturday. This will be the 6th day that I've worked on the shed, hoping between today and Monday to have everything completed except the final siding, which I've not purchased yet. So we got a lot of work ahead of us. Today's goal is to get all the rafters constructed. So I'm gonna go ahead and start by cutting with my templates and then getting them put together. So let's get after it. All right, everybody, I've got my 2 end trusses on. Now I'm gonna go ahead and wrap the building with my building wrap. So I'm gonna put in time lapse and get after it. All right, I've already got the house wrap on 2 sides. I'm gonna put in time lapse and show you how we're doing it. Basically, we're just gonna take this huge roll. It's 9 foot tall by 100 foot long. We're gonna drape it across this side, nail the corners, nail tops and bottoms, and put a few nails in the center. I'm using these plastic cap nails. You'll find these are 1.25 inch plastic cap nails. They also are used to put down tar paper. So let's get it. So I've offset these off the stud by a couple inches, but I've got them 16 inches on center from themselves. And you see these vertical lines. What I'm doing is I'm making the lines every 16 inches. I'm going through and I'm shooting a couple screws, getting them prepped. And then I'm setting the rafter up there, centering it, and then I'm coming back through afterwards and installing these different hangers, depending on how I built the specific rafter. It depends on which type of hanger I'm using. So they're getting screwed in from the bottom. They're also getting toe nailed in, or toe nailed in, and then I've got those hangers on them. So it's coming along pretty good. Whenever I go to put the decking, there's going to be a little bit of shimmying required. There's 2 of them that have about a 1/4 inch gap on them for the OSB decking, but it's not going to be a big deal. That'll be easily remedied, so not a big deal whatsoever. A little bit of shimming never hurt anything. So everything's going together great. It's definitely gonna allow for some nice overhead storage. So we're gonna keep on getting after it. All right, everybody, we are on what I hope to be the last day until the only thing that's left to be vinyl siding, which I haven't purchased yet. But today I'm hoping to accomplish getting the windows installed, getting the roof decking placed on, getting it shingled, and getting the door built and installed. So it's some lofty goals. I've got about 6 hours or so, 6.5 hours to get it accomplished. So we're gonna just hop right into it and see what we can do. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start on the roof decking. There's a couple things I need to do about that, so we're just going to hop right into it. All right, well, the data for the tar paper was corrupted, but basically I'll just go over it with you real quick and tell you what I did. Started at this edge here, laid my first piece, did a 3-inch overlap, laid my next piece. It folded up over the ridge, started on the other side. So the ridge is actually 2 pieces thick. Everywhere else has 3 inches of overlap. Now we're gonna do drip edge. Hey everybody, thanks for joining my channel today on Outside with Jeff. Today we're going to be discussing how to remove some mildew or mold off some construction lumber. So I bought these 1x4s to trim out this doorway and to construct the door on my shed here. And I bought these about a week ago. I had them sitting up on my porch. However, they were really close to the edge. We got some wind and some rain. They got wet. I had them all stacked up nicely there. What happened is I got moisture in between the boards and we got this black mildew on them. So the boards are still good. You don't need to worry about that. You can still use the boards. But what we need to do is we need to get this mildew taken care of, knocked out. And in order to do that, what you're gonna need to do is get you a spray bottle and you're gonna make a solution of water and bleach. FDA recommends a mixture of 10 to 1, 10 parts of water to 1 part bleach. I like to make mine a little stronger than that. I go 5 to 1, so if you've got 5 cups of water, you're gonna do 1 cup of bleach. Just get that in spray bottle and you're gonna wanna soak that board down where the mildew's at. I go ahead and soak that whole board down, okay? Get it good and sprayed. I'm gonna go ahead and spray a couple of them so it can be soaking in there. And then once you've got these boards sprayed down, get you a bristle brush. I got like a dishwasher scrub brush, dish that you use to clean your dishes. This one's only used for outside projects, so we don't have to worry about going inside and cleaning a plate or a pan with one that we were doing some mildew or mold removal with. So I do recommend having a separate brush. We buy these for $2.80 here locally, so they're pretty cheap. After you get this all sprayed down, like so, go ahead and grab your bristle brush, come to the first one that you sprayed, and you're just gonna start scrubbing. You wanna make sure that you're wearing clothes, that you're not afraid to, if by chance you get a little bit of bleach on them, you don't wanna be doing this to good clothes. As most people know, bleach will stain clothes, especially colored clothes. So you just wanna scrub it like so. Go to your next board. I like to have the spray nozzle in hand. If you hit a really dark area, kind of give it another spray while you're scrubbing. There you go, that was actually a mud spot, a little dirt spot. Get it good and scrubbed, just like so. What this is going to do is it's going to remove the surface mildew, and that bleach is going to act like a kind of a layer of protection so that as it's drying, it's killing the mildew that's present, and then it's going to act as a mold and mildew inhibitor for future occurrences. So get it good and done, good and rubbed off. This one wasn't very bad. Must have been near the top. The ones near the bottom definitely got the worst of it. Keep on going. All right, after you've got it sprayed, scrubbed, grab your water hose, go ahead and hit that scrubby brush, hit it for a second. And we're just gonna hose down this wood. Depending on the severity of the mildew, it may require multiple treatments in order to get the wood looking as good as new. Spray it off really good. Fantastic. So these first 3 boards, it's practically gone. This one was pretty severe, so it still has some on there. These 2 are pretty good. This one has a few more spots. It'll need a second treatment. So now what you want to do is you'll just let the boards, give them a space so that they can get air movement all around them. We got a nice sunny day today. The sun's gonna dry these boards up. You can stand them on their side, allow them to drip. That way the standing water is not on there. They're gonna drip dry. After they've drip dried for about 30 minutes, you can go ahead and lay them flat so that they have really good sun contact on that top surface. And then if you need to retreat, if there's still mold or mildew present, you can go ahead and do another treatment. And then once the boards are fully dried, you can go ahead and use them for your construction project. So this is how you would remove mold or mildew from your construction lumber whenever it's got wet before you're able to use it. So I hope this was helpful. Don't worry, your construction lumber is fine. It will not be ruined. It's very important that you do not install wet lumber because you would trap that moisture in between the 2 surfaces and that would cause some issues. But as long as you treat it and then let it dry before your project is started, you'll be perfectly fine. So have a great day from my channel to your home. Hey everybody, we're going to go ahead and do our window installation on the shed. So first thing to do, I'm going to go on the back side and I'm going to cut around the edge of this house wrap so that we can expose the hole to the window. As you can probably see, I left about a ½ inch of that window or the house wrap around the edge. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to split to the corner. That way the house wrap will bend in, kind of wrap around the opening of where the window is going to go, just like so. So your house wrap is going to go into that window frame. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put your window up. I already dry fitted this whenever I was doing the initial construction. We're going to go ahead and get the window pressed into place. Nice snug fit. Now before we secure it, I have a level. Let me grab it. Here it is in my pocket. we're going to just put a level on the window, verify level, verify plumb. We're looking really good. Now what we want to do is we want to verify the window's not upside down. It looks good. We're facing the right direction. We're going to go inside the window, make sure, or inside the shed, make sure everything looks good. Everything is operational. Now that we know everything is level and plumb, we're going to go ahead. There are some openings, there are some slots around the window for screws. We're going to go ahead and attach that. We're going to go ahead and attach that window with some screws. This is going to anchor the window into our 2x4 frame. This particular window has built-in J-channel, so that when we go to do our siding, we won't need to run J-channel against the window. It's already here. It's already in place. We're going to go ahead and secure it. Looks like it's going to take 4 on each side, 3 on the top. So a total of about 14 screws. I'm going to get that secured. You see I did one side then the other. Kind of alternate. Now I'm going to go bottom one corner. You just don't want to, when you're tightening the screws down, to accidentally pull the window and get it off center or out of plumb. So you want to get your screws sunk all the way. That way when you go do your siding, you don't have any problems. Just continue on until all your screw holes, all your slots for screws have been filled. That way you know no matter what happens, this window is going to be really good and secure. So that's all there is. This was a 24 by 30 window from Menards. Paid about $90 for it. I'm very happy with the quality of this window. And this is going to be a no maintenance, a maintenance-free window. It's got that PVC around it, so it's going to be maintenance-free, paint-free window. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. There's also instructions on the window that will explain how to install it. If you have further questions, you can always look at your window itself. It will have a 1 through 4 or 1 through 6 step program to help you with your window installation. Well, from my channel to your home, have a great day. Yeah, buddy. All right, now that we have the windows done and the rain is dried off from the overnight showers, we're going to go ahead and start putting up the roof. So we're going to get up there, we're going to put the front shingle starter on, and then we're going to start throwing some shingles on this roof. Let's get it. All right, everybody, thanks for joining me today on my channel Outside with Jeff. We are currently in the midst of the roof, doing the shingles for the shed. I'll show you how we are nailing our architectural shingles. So what you want to do, once you've got them started, you want factory edge to factory edge. So you're going to take a new shingle, you're going to butt it up against what you already have. Make sure you got the edge lined up so you're not protruding out anymore. That'll give you a nice straight roof. Go ahead and get you a nail tacked in. Come down to the other edge, line the bottom of your next shingle you're putting on to the lip in between the architectural edges of the previous shingle. Come into the tar strip, put you another nail, and then I like to do 6 nails. So we're going to go ahead and come in the center of each architectural, which I'm calling 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to put a nail into the tar strip of each architectural tab, and we're using 1.5 inch roofing nails, and that's going to give us a 6 nail setup. We're going to grab our next shingle. We're going to come 1 run up. We're going to go ahead and lay that next one. Same way. If you've got tar paper, make sure you lay it down flat. First edge, lined up with the previous shingle. Tack one nail 1/2 inch from the edge into the tar strip, come to the other end, pull your shingle down, get it nice and straight. 1/2 inch from the edge into the tar strip. Grab you 4 more roofing nails. Like I said, I'm using 1.5 inches. Come into the tab. Each of those tabs, you don't want to hammer down too hard because you don't want to damage the shingle. You just want to get it nice and firm into the shingle without burying the head into the actual shingle itself. There we go. Next run. Be safe, always be safe. This is a 512 roof, so it's not too dangerous to walk on, crawl around. If you got anything steeper than if you have a 6, you can still work on it like this. If you have a 7, it's going to be a lot more dangerous. Your pitch, a 512 means for every foot up, you're going to raise. For every foot of run, you're going to go up 5 inches. So you could imagine a 712. For every foot, you're going to get 7 inches of elevation. That gets pretty steep. Tack in the end, get your shingle down. It's okay if you're a 32nd off. That's not a big deal. You just don't want to be any more than that, really. If you're, say, an 1/8 of an inch off, you're going to really be able to tell, and your roof's not going to look right when you're done. So do your best to line it up. Architectural shingles are more forgiving than 3-tab because since there's more going on in the pattern on the roof, small mistakes like that will be disguised. But still, you want to do as good a job as you can. And that's all there is. You just keep continuing on the pattern, and eventually you'll have a completed roof. Have a great day. Teach a man how to lay shingles. He'll save a lot of money over his lifetime. That is all.